Hey guys, Marcus Buff Bagwell here with Cashflow. Wow, what a little run he's had lately. But first, I want to hear about when you started wrestling. What got you into wrestling and had that start?
I think I started like a lot of guys around my era. We watch it, and this is something that we want to do, and we decided to go for it. Now, about 80% of the guys that try to go for it, they either get hurt or they puss out, and there they go.
Yes, don't make it.
But I pushed myself through, and I ended up making some connections, and I ended up figuring out kind of my little spot in on the indie wrestling, and I kept plugging away at it, kept grinding.
And you made a good run at it, bro. Real good run. So how did you get in touch with the Tulsa King thing, brother? It's incredible.
In my opinion, professional wrestlers, if they enjoy what they do and they really understand what they do, it is a natural evolution to want to pursue. You want to keep doing, kind of wrestling. Of so it's a natural evolution to pursue some of the less physical aspects of the entertainment industry.
Yes.
You want to go out. You want to tell stories. You want to, have. Explore different personalities and that kind of thing. And what better way to do that than acting? So I kind of seen in my head, because I knew about what was going to happen with that Netflix wrestler show.
Right.
So, I thought to myself, well, if people enjoy hearing my story and I get a little bit of exposure, that may lead to some other things. So I thought to myself, why don't I go out and get an agent and start researching, doing a little bit of acting.
Yes.
So I went out about a year before the Netflix wrestler show started filming.
Very smart of you.
I went out and I got an agent and I started going out for some roles. I've done some little things. I've done some music videos. I've had a few little roles. Well, the Netflix wrestlers thing hit, and it was balls to the wall for me. The exposure was out there. Plus, Al was using me like crazy. I was wrestling 4 or 5 times a week.
Right?
Yeah.
Great.
So it was good. Well, in that March, all right, Netflix Wrestlers came out in September. That March, or that February, the end of February, I get a phone call from my agent. Say, hey, Cash, a casting director wants to know, will Cashflow read for this role? Okay, they didn't use my real name. All right, they used my wrestling persona.
Okay.
So they knew, who I was.
Right.
So I assumed they were looking for some, somebody that looked like me, or me in particular.
Right.
They didn't tell me what show it was.
Oh, they didn't.
They didn't tell me what show it was.
Did you ask?
When I got there, I read for the role because I was reading for a lot of roles.
Right.
That's just kind of how you do it.
Sure.
You read for 99.
Right.
You might get 2. Yeah.
Right. 1 or 2.
So I read for the role, and then I asked, by the way, what is it? It's Tulsa King with Sylvester Stallone.
I said,
well, you couldn't have told me that, and I
I'd have done it better.
Yeah, I tried to get you. I probably would, but it threw me for a loop because I really enjoyed the first season. The first season was amazing.
It was a great season.
Yes,
it was. It was really good.
So I didn't hear anything for about 3 weeks. Okay, and they told me when they told me what show it was. They said, hey, you're going to have to be ready to fly out this date in March, which was. About the 3rd week in March.
And we're getting close to that date.
Well, it was. We were about 4 weeks from that date.
Oh, okay.
So, 3 weeks went by. Nothing. Another couple. So I called my agent, and I was like, I'm curious. Did they decide to go somewhere? Yeah. Did they decide to go somewhere else?
Right.
It seemed like they really wanted me because they used my wrestling name. I didn't hear back from them for about 3 days. Well, about 16 hours before they originally said that I needed to be down there to start, I get a phone call from my agent. And I was like, okay, well, I didn't get it. So they're just calling me to say, hey, they're just calling to say, hey, you don't have to call us. We'll call you if you get the role.
Right.
Trying to smarten me up a little bit because I'm green or whatever. No, that wasn't the case. They called me up. They said, oh my God, the casting directors, they kind of forgot to let us know to tell you, can you be on a plane tomorrow? To Atlanta.
I sure can.
And I said, you better believe it. And they said, if you get a phone call from a California number that you don't recognize, it'd be in your best interest to answer it. Well, about 15, 20 minutes later, I get that phone call, and it's Sylvester.
310?
No, I think it's
something.
I think it was.
Used to call me. It was always 310.
But
get that number.
It was Sylvester Stallone.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was the same thing that he did with Hogan. I think there's a story out there where when he wanted Hogan for the Rocky III movie,
he called him.
He called him.
I heard that. I never knew it from Hogan, but is that's?
I seen a shoot interview with Hogan, and
that's great.
That's what he did with me.
So what did he say?
A lot of, it was a lot of blowing smoke. You know how you are in wrestling business, man. You get promoters that blow your, dude, you're a star,
brother.
You're a star.
I love it.
But he did all that, and he seemed very genuine. And of course, you know, it's Sylvester Stallone on the phone, so you don't.
Rocky.
Yeah,
it's Rocky.
The ultimate babyface, right?
It's Rocky.
The ultimate babyface. Because I teach wrestling school for an hour. I used to. And that was the example we get when we try to explain good guy versus bad guy.
Yeah, Rocky.
You got Rocky, you got Jesus, and then you got the devil.
Exactly.
You know,
that's how you do it.
And it was pretty surreal. You know, it was so surreal. I had my wife recorded on the phone.
I was about to say, did you have time to get it recorded?
Oh yeah, I got the whole. I got the video. It was great. And you know, I
so this was for season 2.
This is for season 2.
Okay. Now, any words for 3?
He really wants to do it. All right, they're already working on 3. There's some videos out on Stallone's Instagram and his stuff, and he thanks, you know, all of us cast, including me, you know, how well we did, and gives a rundown kind of. And he also says, hey, we're working on season 3. Right. It just hasn't been officially announced by Paramount Plus.
But you feel it's going to happen?
I feel it's going to happen. I feel that there's going to be spinoffs involved too, because I've heard rumblings of some spinoffs as well.
Good. Well, then now, do you like what they're doing with you on the show? Do you like your character fully? I mean, sometimes it don't work out that way. You think you're excited, you go and you're like, damn, they're not using me quite like I thought. But how's it going for you?
It's actually going real well. You know, originally when I got there, I was under the assumption, I think my agent told me that I was really only going to be in 4 or 5 episodes.
Right.
Well, when I got there, I'd end up talking to Stallone and the directors, and they ended up putting me in every episode, the whole season. Wow. They didn't bear me, and the character that they wrote for me, it's almost like it's kind of me.
That's how beautiful is that, right?
It's kind of me.
You.
Yeah.
That way, it's not playing somebody else; it's playing your character,
and it makes it a little easier. It makes it easier to project. It makes it easier to get into the moment. And I always say, well, anybody that's asked me, you know, how was it, you know, as far as being different from wrestling, and I tell them it's the only thing different between acting and wrestling is. In wrestling, it's one take, and you got to do it.
Right.
You know, acting, it's the same thing, but you still have.
Yeah. You got another take at this.
You got 5, 6, 10, 15, and it's still all about telling stories and about being in the moment.
Right.
And that's why I say it's a natural evolution for wrestlers to make that step and do that. So,
but there is to me though, like I think you'll agree, there's a difference. There was guys that were wrestlers that happened to be in a few movies, and then there was The Rock that was a movie star that happened to wrestle.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? There's a difference.
And you can tell the difference too, because
absolutely
the personality that he brought to was a movie star.
Yes.
Okay.
He happened to wrestle, and he's a movie star. Hogan was a wrestler that was a few movies.
Yeah.
And wrestlers get a little bit of that lingo about it, but really yours it looks like an actor doing his job, and it's really good that you feel comfortable with this.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But again, you said it a minute ago, it's that getting that part that's a little close to who you are.
It makes your transition so much easier.
Then you can pour in who you are.
You realize how hard it would have been, Buff, if they would have come in and said,
"Hey, doctor,
yeah, here you go. We're going to need you to play this banker. We're going to need you to slick your hair." I'd be like,
"What? You got to shave and earrings, no chains, no nothing." Yeah, so
but they made the transition so easy, and it was very difficult when I got there, because the very first scene that I had was my introduction scene, and I hadn't met Stallone face to face. So as soon as I walked in the room, but you know, the cool thing, we were talking about him earlier, the cool thing, after that scene was done, I think he recognized that I was a bit nervous.
Sure.
So when we left the scene, you know, we cut for lunch or whatever, he said, "Hey, come with me." He brought his wife, introduced me to his wife, he took me to his trailer, spent about 2 hours in there.
And just talked.
Just talking with me. Being one of the boys.
Nice.
And don't you know, later on, we ended up coming back and redoing the scene. He didn't have to do that.
No.
He could have just
could have kept
cut it.
Yeah.
You know, made it minuscule, made it look as good as it needed to.
But he wanted to make you look a little better, and that was huge.
He made that screen time for me, and he kept that screen time for me. And he didn't have to do that. Those directors didn't have to do that. So, you know,
that's huge. That's you. So
Made me feel
now,
pretty good about it.
is wrestling still in the mix for you? Are you still? So we're still wrestling.
Yeah, I'm still wrestling. I've been off for about 3 weeks. Because I do this splash off the top rope buff, and I tweaked my shoulder a little bit.
You know the deal, bro. The first thing they tell you is your finish has got to be something you can do to everybody and you can do every night.
But you know, I've been doing it for years
I know
and
you have.
never.
I know, dude.
I never.
And you tweak your right shoulder?
I tweaked my right shoulder.
Wow.
And I've been down for about 3 weeks. But you know what? I'm still in. The producers and Stallone, you know, they told me, look, your life's going to change. You might want to rethink what's going on. You know, and at the time, I'm like, yeah, here they go. They're blowing smoke again.
Here we go.
But I'm starting to see evidence of that by, you know, other producers calling me and more roles opening up. I got like 3 projects right now that are.
Tulsa King is one of the #1 shows, brother. You're on it. So.
You know, so I'm starting to see that.
Yeah.
So, you know, my mind has changed. My mindset.
So maybe go the middle rope.
Yeah. You know what? I don't even know about the middle rope.
That's what I'm saying, bro. You ain't got to.
How about I run the ropes?
Yeah, and I'll just hit you with a flying tackle.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah.
So now, what's next for Cashflow? You got the second season. Are we taping second season right now? Are we in it? Are we done?
Second season's done. It's actually out, and all episodes are there to stream on Paramount Plus.
Fantastic.
It's an amazing season. The directors and the writers they knocked it out of the park. You know, and it was a tough act to follow when you have to follow Yellowstone and those guys. So it's really good. You know, I look forward to if Paramount Plus throws it out there, I look forward to season 3, season 4, any spinoffs they want to do. You know, I want to do some Marvel stuff. I think I would enjoy it because I'm a comic book guy.
That's you, right? That's the deal. That's the deal. The Marvel deal.
I would love to do it.
Oh man, I saw The Rock dressed up like Maui the other day.
Oh yeah.
And, you know, The Rock looks incredible anyway, but he looked even like cartoon great. And I thought anybody could be a Marvel character now as long as they got the look and the attitude like Cashflow does. Marvel would be a great fit for you. That'd be something really cool.
I'd love it.
This may spin off to that, brother.
It may. And you know what? I don't know how much you know about the law of attraction, but manifesting. But whenever I do like interviews like this, and whenever I talk to people out there, I'm all about putting out there what I want. And like I'm already doing it, and that's actually kind of how some of this stuff. That's what the law of attraction is that manifestation thing. Yes. You know, you put the energy you put out is going to come back to you, and that's what I'm all about.
I love that. I love that saying. I'm gonna steal it from you.
Hey, good.
Where can people get in touch with Cashflow? Do you have an email address, or somebody wanted to book Cashflow?
If you want to book me, cash@chopshopwrestling.com. You can find me on all my social medias. You can typically, we can finagle something on the social medias. I'm at Cashflow Wrestler. You know, if you want to see some stuff that I've done, I'm on IMDb. You can find, some of my clips, some of my reels and stuff. I got a YouTube channel. It's got all my stuff from way back up until the present and some of the OVW stuff. That's where I'm at.
Man, I really appreciate it. Take care of that shoulder.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And thank you, Cash.
Yes, absolutely.